What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Destination Pro Wrestling. I'm your boy Ango, and today we got a hot story for you. And I got some opinions on this topic that I think a lot of you guys may not agree with, but it's okay because we're going to get into it. All right, guys, if you want to help support Destination Pro Wrestling, all you guys got to do is click that subscribe button. Click that like button, share this video, drop a comment down below. Let your friends and family know about DPW, and it will be greatly appreciated. A lot of videos, a lot of stuff happening in pro wrestling, guys. And I'm back bringing you guys daily content. As you guys can tell, we got the new setup. I invested so much money into this personal setup. I think this is the best setup I've ever had before. I mean, literally, this broadcast table had costed me thousands of dollars. We got the coffee cup, we got the nameplate, we got the popcorn, the championship belts, the laptop itself right here. You guys, I don't even know. All right, you guys could tell this is all green screen, but honestly, I just want to bring you guys something a little bit different. I know this is not something you typically see on YouTube, and better yet, I got opinions. And I got opinions that a lot of people may not agree with, but yes, there are rumors circulating that Ricochet is leaving the WWE. He has actually responded to the rumors. We will talk about that shortly. But if you guys didn't know, WrestleVotes actually made a tweet basically saying that he couldn't state any names, but there was somebody in the company who will be leaving the company and not re-signing. So, of course, Twitter did its thing. Social media went loud. Social media was talking about who could it be. And, of course, multiple people have came out and said that Ricochet is the one that is not leaving WWE. It even got to a certain point in which Ricochet leaving WWE for AEW has been brought up multiple times. Now, what's very interesting is Ricochet did, in fact, respond to these rumors and called it such. He blamed the dirt sheet writers just like many would, and he said that he is not leaving WWE, and he's not really even sure how these rumors got started. But guys, there's something very important to hear, and I got a lot of opinions on Ricochet as a WWE superstar and what we've seen with Ricochet in WWE. And I don't know if a lot of you guys will agree. If you guys do, that's awesome. Let me know in the comment section down below. But Ricochet, of course, denies these rumors. And pretty much anytime a current superstar is rumored to leave the company, the first thing that they typically do, especially on social media, is deny all rumors. And this has happened before in the past with other superstars who, of course, then made their departure from the company. So we have to really think of this situation and think of Ricochet being in a situation where, is he just blowing smoke? Is he just telling everybody that he's not leaving WWE and these are rumors? And of course, when a WWE superstar like Ricochet comes out and says that they're not re-signing with the company, the most important thing we can do is believe that superstar. I think the most important thing we can do is acknowledge that this person may or may not be lying. And that is totally cool. If Ricochet is not leaving WWE, I totally get it. I totally understand. But there are some very high-profile names, especially when it comes to these rumors, that have been in the mix. And of course, with WrestleVotes not disclosing any names, it's very, very hard to say whether or not Ricochet is leaving. But if you look at Ricochet's track record with WWE, guys, it hasn't been all too good with WWE. And I think a lot of times people love to blame the brass. They love to blame the higher ups in WWE. They love to blame Vince McMahon, especially because recently there has been a lot of talk of WWE not being interested in Ricochet. If you guys didn't know, Paul Heyman, when he was running Raw, there was a couple guys that he continued to push. Ricochet was one of them. Humberto Carrillo. He was also another one. Obviously, Angel Garza and Andrade, they were all part of this mixture of guys who were getting pushed. And then, of course, when Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon took the reins over and Paul Heyman was relieved from his duties, there was no secret. I think everybody saw on Raw that Ricochet was not getting a push. Now, a lot of people think that Ricochet should be a WWE champion, and I'm sorry to burst your bubble here, but this is where I have to be highly opinionated on the matter. Ricochet is a great in-ring worker. In fact, I think he is one of the top guys in WWE when it comes to in-ring ability. But if we're going off my personal preference, and granted, this is just my personal preference, this is just my personal opinion, this is just the way I view the business, Ricochet needs to develop more character work. And I think that's one thing that we've seen time and time again with guys coming from the indies to WWE Yes, they can do incredible moves. Yes, they could put on 5-star matches. But what they don't have is that Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre appeal. I don't think they have necessarily that mainstream appeal that guys like John Cena and The Rock, Roman Reigns, guys like that, right? And I know oftentimes that is something that a lot of people disagree with, but it's really, really important in today's day and age for a company to establish a star who is going to have mainstream appeal. And the thing is, I don't actually think Ricochet doesn't have it. I think he very well has it. But I don't think we've seen that on display. And one area in particular where I think Ricochet needs to improve is his character, is his mic work. I don't think when I look at Ricochet on the mic, when I hear him on the mic, I don't know if I necessarily take him as serious as I would as a guy like Roman Reigns. And again, that's just my personal preference. I don't hate the guy. I think he has the ability to do it. I see a lot of similarities between Ricochet and some of the biggest and best superstars in pro wrestling history. But the problem is, in the scenarios that we have seen him on weekly WWE television, I don't know if we really got a true look at all of his potential. Again, in-ring ability, incredible. But as far as mic work and character work goes, I think there is a lot to improve on. Now, what's really interesting is when you saw a guy like Braun Strowman or Roman Reigns take the championship belt or take the main event, they took part of the main events on WWE television and pay-per-views. A lot of people argue that Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns aren't the best wrestlers. A lot of people argue that a guy like Baron Corbin isn't a good wrestler. But all three of these characters had something that guys like Ricochet don't, and that is a presence that can't be ignored. Unfortunately, in pro wrestling, and this is what's happened a lot in recent years, a lot of the smaller wrestlers, they typically get lost in the shuffle because they are really, really good at the in-ring stuff, but they fall flat everywhere else. And the thing is, like I said, it's not that I don't think Ricochet can't do it. I think he has all the skill in the world to do it. I think we've even seen hints of this, but I don't think he's fully taken advantage of those opportunities. And maybe that's where we could blame WWE, because maybe WWE didn't give him enough time or enough important stories to make these things happen. So keep in mind, I'm not hating on Ricochet, but I think that's also why I am very highly opinionated on him when I hear the response, Ricochet is a WWE champion one day. Like, I understand where people are coming from. I get it. I understand. And to some extent, I can see that happening. But we need to see more from Ricochet on that level to know if he's really going to get there. Someone like Drew McIntyre is a great example. When he got released from WWE, he came back, got bigger, better on the mic. His presence could be felt. And I think with Ricochet, you don't necessarily get that. In fact, I would even go on to say that you don't necessarily get that with guys like Adam Cole. But you do get that with guys like Edge and Randy Orton. It's not necessarily just a visual appearance, because as far as that goes, big or small, to me, it doesn't matter. But it's the presence. And I think one of the biggest things you can do as a wrestler to make your presence felt is really show true emotion to the words that are being spoken when you are doing a promo. I think it's your mannerisms and your ability to do storytelling in a match. And from a fan's perspective, I just personally don't know if Ricochet has shown us all of his potential. But with that being said, I do think he can do it. So whether or not Ricochet leaves WWE for AEW, honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea for Ricochet. AEW is more sports-centric. Interestingly enough, recently we are starting to see more promos and character development within people on the AEW Dynamite show. But I do think Ricochet could very well be successful in AEW without having to build more of that in-ring mic promos and stuff like that. So don't take it as hatred. Just take it as something I've observed personally. I also believe that Ricochet, in order to show us that he has this potential, I think this is where WWE needs to put him in a big program. And I don't know if we got that either. So again, I'm not completely blaming Ricochet. I do think WWE is to blame a little bit. But from what we've seen from him, I know there's more. And that's what I want to see. I want to see more from Ricochet. It's very, very interesting stuff. The rumors are interesting. Is he just denying these rumors? because that's the right thing to do. Is he going to leave WWE? I guess we just don't know. But Ricochet going to AEW would be massive. It would be massive for AEW because it adds an extra layer of in-ring stuff that they do so well with week in and week out. So me personally, I'm excited to see what happens. Everything time frame wise from when he signed his contract with WWE, him leaving by January 2021 would make a lot of sense. Again, this is a very hot rumor. He's denied this, as I've stated several times, but I want to know what you guys think. Is Ricochet leaving the WWE? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you next time.